Mercedes are bringing some massive upgrades this weekend. Looking at this weekend in particular, we might see the pecking order continue to swing a little bit, but this time back in Mercedes' direction. They're bringing a swath of aero upgrades. Rumors of the car is going to be expected to be a bit lighter. Upgrades even to some components with the race starts. Anticipated gains have been rumored around an expectation of like 3/10.
Yep.
This package comes a race later than the competition, including McLaren, who, you know, that's your boys. I know Kevin was a lot more inspired after Miami. Ferrari, your boys, Ryan. There was something that happened.
Inspiring.
Yeah, very inspiring if you're Ferrari. But if you're a Red Bull fan and you're watching this, I'm sure you were a lot more inspired by Miami. But they revealed all these massive upgrades after that huge break in Miami and brought the competition a lot closer to the silver arrows. But this is Mercedes' opportunity to kind of re-widen that field. And the fact that they weathered those gains in Miami was kind of impressive, in my opinion, even though it was really, really, really close. Ryan, with your experience in this field, was waiting to deliver upgrades more of a positive for Mercedes than maybe Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren?
I think they have so much pace in pocket because not to sort of bury the lead, I don't think they've been full deploy this whole season. Like, I genuinely don't believe they have been at their like extreme edge because they haven't really been under the pressure of anybody, because we've seen them sort of like, even when Ferrari was taking it to them in China and stuff, they'll look a little bit like they're being pressured and then they just pull out a 10-20 second gap the second they sort of need to. So I've always sort of imagined there was like 2 to 3 more tenths in race pace that they just never actually used because they didn't want to get regulated out of a car that's already good. So I'm sort of terrified by the monster that is about to be unleashed. I think they just knew they have however much development time they needed outside of some crazy thing happening at Miami that didn't show up. Like, maybe McLaren would have shown up with a rocket ship they invented, but they didn't. They showed up with like a relatively competitive car, but still couldn't match the Mercedes. Like, a child in a Mercedes is winning right now. So clearly it's class of the field. They can take as much time as they want to develop it, and now they've done that. I'm horrified because like the 3/10 thing seems conservative. I think they're probably gonna get like 5/10. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for everyone on the field. Maybe they'll cut the side pods off again and like screw themselves. Maybe they'll do something fun and we'll have a chance.
I think they let Audi do that this time around. Yeah, but Kevin, as the resident McLaren fan, how worried are you that Mercedes is re-bridging this gap?
I'm not terribly concerned. McLaren is also bringing their own upgrades, and all these teams have brought upgrades. The fun thing is everybody has had the same time off as every other team. Though Mercedes started off with the competitive advantage, for sure, they nailed the regulations better than any other team. All teams have had the equal amount of time off. I think the difference that made the win for Mercedes versus McLaren in Miami was truly Kimi Antonelli. I think those cars were fairly evenly matched. Maybe Lando, being a better driver, just went a worse car, but Kimi really made the difference and really got that win. And I understand that Mercedes could easily put an upgrade package together that could sweep the field. We've seen it before. But I think McLaren, and something we've talked about before on previous episodes, even dating back to a year or so ago, is McLaren is very good at this upgrade thing. They're very good at putting together upgrades and staying competitive. And now more than ever, with 2 of the non-arguable top 5 drivers in the sport, I think McLaren, and even a team like Ferrari, we've said a lot of things about Ferrari over the past year or so, but I think Ferrari is definitely more competitive this year. I think they're more serious this year. And I think Red Bull even should be excited about trying to claim some podiums with Max Verstappen. I don't really know what we've gotten from Isaac Hadjar at the moment. He's had a little bit of a rough stint to start 2026, but I think all 4 teams should still be excited about what is to come for the season. As long as they're nailing these upgrades, anybody has a chance.
I mean, Ryan, resident Ferrari
I'm a little
fan.
bit more optimistic than others, obviously.
I believe that. Ferrari fan Ryan, how are you feeling about the Scuderia and all of this? I mean, they brought those upgrades in Miami, but they wound up back behind McLaren and Mercedes. Like, are you concerned about it? Are you thinking it was maybe just a bad weekend? Like, They're still second place in the constructors. Like, they can put up a fight, but like, how much do you believe in Ferrari?
Well, is your question, do I think Ferrari has a legitimate chance to like challenge for the constructors puck? No. Like, frick no. Like, if I'm being honest, no. They just, even on a strategy level, they won't for years. They could have the Merc right now, and I still probably wouldn't believe in Ferrari. I'd still think that they're going to throw away a pit for no reason. They aren't that team. They do have the starts, which is great. We've seen that they love to get out ahead and then burn their tires down fighting for something they're never going to keep really hard and then fall back into the clutches of McLaren. I think they sort of need to accept their place is 2 or 3 and be a little bit more understanding of that, and then they might have even better finishes. Yeah, they would need like a whole developmental rework to really like consistently be fighting Merc. I think the Ferrari dream is you let George Russell run past you because he's desperate to beat Kimi Antonelli, and you hope he crashes Kimi in front of you, and then you have a chance to win the race. Then you're fighting McLarens who you might be able to race. Then you're good. Then the dream is aligned. Yeah, those Mercs are terrifying.
So, but between the both of you, I need to hear it. So do you think McLaren or Ferrari have it to bring a title fight against Mercedes within this season?
McLaren, maybe.
McLaren, okay. Yes. I think so. I think so.
Yeah, McLaren.
And that's not even just my fan. Like, that's not even like my fan biasness. Like, I've seen it. We've seen what they've done last year. Like, they have kind of done this, and they have relatively the same team as what they did last year and the year prior, where they turned this whole operation around. And like I said before, Oscar Piastri's on a revenge tour. He just hasn't had the best start to it. And Lando Norris is, whether you like it or not, your defending, reigning world champion. So that was mainly toward the fans there. That was mainly towards all the Lando haters out there.
Get them.
But still subscribe, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think Mercedes are going to sweep the season. Where there's going to be moments where they hit walls or luck just isn't in their corner, right? Like, having the best car to start this year, it's a huge advantage, and especially to start a regulation, it's a huge advantage. But seeing the ability of Ferrari and Red Bull and McLaren to upgrade and kind of get back in the mix, I just feel like there's going to be a weekend or two that throughout this entire super long season, mind you, is just not going to quite go their way. But I would be shocked if Mercedes don't at least capture both titles at this stage. It would be one of the biggest disasters, arguably, probably of all time. But the TLPs, I don't know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on this